Welcome to The Intuitive Therapist with Janis R. Cohen, therapist, clairvoyant, empath, and medium. Listen in as she takes a no-nonsense deep dive into real human struggles and how to resolve them. Janis will share channeled information from her spirit guide team, as well as angels and archangels, to help you master your emotional, physical, financial, and spiritual destiny. And now, Janis R. Cohen.
Hey y'all, this is Janis Cohen, the Intuitive Therapist, here on the Intuitive Therapist Podcast. Welcome to another week. In Atlanta, it's gorgeous, getting nice and hot. Y'all, I'm a summer girl, my favorite season of the year. So I soak up every ray that I can. And yes, I do use sunscreen. But I'm love being by the water, love being near the pool, love hanging out with friends and being outside. So I'm getting into my groove here in the South. I wanted to talk to you today about the Ascended Masters, who they are and how they can help us. I will tell you up front, I'm not going to go through all the Ascended Masters, but I'm going to talk to you about how I access them through a divination tool, not just through meditation. But I have about 20 oracle and tarot card decks that I use for my own personal readings. And one of them that I use a lot is called the Ascended Masters Oracle Deck by Doreen Virtue. And if you've ever been called to begin to collect and use this type of divination tool, this deck is a wonderful one to add to your collection. All of her decks are great. I know she's kind of changed her tune and she's become religious, and that's been her calling, and that's great. We all hope she's happy, but her divination cards really do work. And the whole goal is for you to really connect your energy with them. And I can talk to you about tarot. Hey, maybe I'll do an episode about tarot. And other divination cards and how to read them. But all of her cards are fantastic. But I wanted you to know that each of us has a team of helpers, spirit guides, angels, ascended masters, archangels, and other beings of light that guide us, protect us, direct us, support us, and help us through all of the experiences in our lives from birth to death. And I did another episode on angels, and I think it was angels and archangels. So if you want to learn more about who shows up for you and when and the kinds of divine help you can get, go ahead and go back and listen to that one because it'll really connect with today's episode. But Ascended Masters are great spiritual teachers and healers, most of whom have lived as humans on the earth thousands of years ago. They're powerful guides who can help you understand your life, muster the courage up to make significant changes, and develop your psychic and manifestation abilities. So I highly encourage you to allow yourself to form a connection to these amazing, amazing beings. Each Ascended Master has specialties such as healing, manifesting, ascension, relationships, and the like. They come from every religion and culture, and they're non-denominational. So you don't need special training or experience to gain their help either. And I'm going to talk to you about that, how easy it is to connect with them. So in this deck in particular, the Ascended Masters deck, Doreen Virtue identifies 44 Ascended Masters. So go ahead, take a look at the deck and see how you connect with it. Then pull a card each day by simply asking the deck and the universe, what do I need to know today? It's often that when I use a deck and I want to make sure that the message is one that I need, because sometimes I too go, wait a minute, let's see if this really is a message that needs to stick today. I'll shuffle the cards repeatedly and pull again. And today, as I'm speaking with you, the Ascended Master Apollo has shown up 3 times from 3 shuffles. So he's saying, all right, Janis, you got to talk to these people about strength. So, and it was so funny because just connecting with his energy just gave me all sorts of warm fuzzies and tinglies. It was like, cool, here he is, strong guy, and he wants me to talk about how he can help everybody. So I have to laugh and say that the first thing I thought when I pulled this card was of the Rocky movies. You know, it's silly, but that's what I thought about Apollo Creed, the very strong man who fought Rocky, and then they befriended each other. Y'all, I just love those movies. They're timeless, and they always make me sit on the edge of my seat when I watch them. I don't know about y'all, but I've seen them a million times, and it's just the anticipation in those fight scenes are just amazing. Okay, I digress. But let's get back to awesome Apollo who showed up today. Apollo is the Greek sun god who is the son of Zeus and twin brother of the goddess Artemis. Apollo is a powerful deity who can bring out the sunshine in your life, literally and figuratively. Renowned for his physical strength, he can also act as your personal trainer to motivate your exercise program, and he can help you gain emotional and intellectual strength. And interestingly enough, he's also connected with music. And I have to tell y'all, in January, I started working out, and I have to believe that he's been a part of the energy with which I am being motivated to work out and get in shape. I'm very, very connected to music, so I know he's there all the time. And really, he has been very significant, along with Archangel Michael, in helping me be strong, especially when I kind of question things. I mean, believe it or not, I do that too. I'm human, y'all. But it's wonderful to know that there's all this help out there. You know, you may not be able to see these energies of these spirits and spirit guides and ascended masters and angels and archangels, but they're there. So, well, maybe he's got a playlist we'd all like to listen to, you know, since he's connected with music. I have no idea, but how cool would that be? I wonder what I wonder what he listens to. Anyway, okay, so this guy showed up in my reading, Apollo, 3 times. And so I asked what I needed to know today, and especially to share with y'all, because I always feel like that the messages I get are always going to be applicable to one or all of y'all that are listening. So, like I said, he was really, really, really persistent. He came up several times in my reading. So I follow my guidance and I listened to my guides today, and especially the one, the only, Apollo. So I wanted to just share a story with you. Y'all know I love my stories, and that's how I help people, because I think stories are so rich. Stories allow us to have a sense of separation from reality sometimes. And when people share their stories, it gives us a chance to allow them to share their own experience, like I share with mine. I do my best to be as transparent as possible. But also, it gives us a chance to relate to somebody else through their experience and relate it to ours. So recently, I was struggling with something where I felt pretty vulnerable. And I don't consider vulnerability a weakness, but I do experience it from time to time. And this time, I really had to work to understand what was going on with me and what I had to learn from this particular experience with somebody. You see, the challenge that I faced had a great deal to do with reminding myself that whatever I felt it really was my issue, not anyone else's. Meaning that if someone else was having behavior that impacted me, I needed to remember that how I was experiencing it, it was all about me, because we filter everything through our own experiences, thoughts, and beliefs, feelings, okay? So no matter what anybody else does, that's their stuff. But what you experience, how you interpret it, how you perceive it, that's all your stuff. And I think most of us tend to kind of forget that other people's behaviors are representative of who they are, not who we are, even if we are provocative to them or we attempt to trigger them. What they choose to do is their choice. What I choose to do is mine. So my task with this particular situation was to really look inside myself about what was being triggered with me and how I could resolve it. And it was around trust. And what I didn't realize was that I still had some stuff to resolve from my past about betrayal. I hadn't cleared the energy I needed to clear about betrayal so that I could just be present and be open to whatever was supposed to happen. So a big focus for me was to look at what I can control and what I can't. Y'all know the Serenity Prayer. It talks about being able to identify and have the courage to control what you can and be willing to let go of the things that you can't control. And this creates a balance. So that was my task, as well as to focus on my strengths and not my perceived vulnerabilities. So regarding the situation I was trying to work through, my focus was kept kind of vacillating between the vulnerability I was experiencing, because I was concerned that my feelings would get hurt, and what I've learned over time, really, that is that I can only control myself, not anybody else, and that I had to really keep my heart and mind open, but also just be mindful and watch for patterns. So believe it or not, y'all, I do need to be reminded of these simple yet powerful messages from time to time. I'm human. And as such, I have to keep learning what hasn't yet been mastered. And so here's the situation that's come up for me. And it was a big, big reminder. So Apollo showed up for me to remind me to simply be in a state of love. And the funny thing is that I teach and remind that way of being to all of my clients. And most of the time, I really am in a state of love, focusing on the positive, the good stuff, my strengths, my blessings, just really being happy because I really feel happy. However, I do get affected by other people's behaviors, just kind of par for the course of being human. So I guess I fell off the wagon a bit. And given how the planetary alignments have changed, where we now at this point have 3 planets in retrograde, including Saturn, where we are set to experience the results of our karma. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit. Yes, we experience karmic results immediately from behavior we've just had, not just from a year ago, 10 years ago, and even past lives. So it's all in the same time, if that makes sense. So what you choose in this moment, what you decide in this moment, how you choose to treat yourself and treat other people in this moment, you can and will get immediate feedback and experiences that resonate with how you choose to behave. So, we're reminded how we create our karma, and to know that how we choose to behave will dictate what we experience in the immediate and long-term future. So I want you to remember this: wherever your focus goes, your energy flows. So just remember, if you're experiencing all sorts of shit in your life, and you're like, I don't understand, how is it that I could possibly experience stepping from one pile of shit to the next, or constant bad relationships, or constant betrayal? You have to really remember that all of these experiences are mirrors for you. And the ascended masters kind of help us with that, especially Apollo, who says, no matter what's going on, be strong, focus on the positive. Know that just because this challenging situation is going on, your trust may be tested, your faith may be tested, your love for yourself and for others may be tested. That's the whole point, is to really figure out and find out where you are, right? What do you really believe? What kind of stuff do you need to still clean up inside? And what stuff for you has been mastered? So, and it was this whole idea of wherever your focus goes, energy flows. It was a good reminder to me that should I fall off the wagon and focus on my fears, I'm just going to feel shitty and experience more of what I fear. So I just want you to hear that too. Wherever your focus goes, energy flows, and it brings more to you of what you're focusing on. I always know that feeling yucky in my life means that I am out of alignment. And that goes for you too. So shift focus to gratitude and strength-based thinking. This is another golden rule to remember. Even if you're not familiar with the ascended masters or archangels or spirit guides, you can still call upon any one of them to help you. You needn't know who you're specifically calling in to help you. All you need to do is request help from them about a particular issue and be open to their guidance. Y'all, they can't help you if you ask and then ignore their cues. And they also can't help you if you don't ask for it, if you don't invite their involvement. Now, all of the angels, archangels, spirits, and spirit guides, known and unknown, they will intervene with you in emergency situations. They will do that. They don't need your permission to do that. But everything else, y'all, you got to ask. And sometimes people, I was talking about asking for help the other day with somebody. And, one of the things that I know for sure is that I am not expert in all things. I know that's a shock to y'all. Ha ha. No, seriously, I really am not. And one of the things that I pride myself most in and about is knowing that, look, if I'm having trouble with something, there's somebody else that's done it before me. And hell, why wouldn't I want to reach out to somebody and avoid recreating the wheel and get somebody to help me reach my goals? Like, that's the point of life. That's why God gives us people, because there are people who are expert in what you're not. So asking for help is actually a very strength-based approach, where most people feel like, yeah, I'm weak, I'm vulnerable, I'm not competent. That's what people will think if I ask for help. And if you open yourself up in that way, you'll build that muscle of strength. So deities such as Ganesh, Merlin, Saint Germain, Moses, Jesus, and others are included in this deck. It's a really, really beautiful deck. And it's a very high vibe deck. So I really suggest that you try it out. The Ascended Masters are here to unite us all in a higher collective consciousness and to remind us that we're all connected to Source. And that makes us all perfect from the start. Our souls are perfect, y'all. We incarnate in these imperfect human bodies to ascend. And this year, y'all, is all about ascension. It's all about raising the collective consciousness, raising the collective vibration so that we all live better and happier lives. And our challenge in these earth forms is for us to resolve our human challenges so that we too can consult with earthly beings from our place in heaven. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. Don't forget to hop on to my website, www.janisrcohen.com. Download the 3 forces that shape your life. It's really, really helpful. It's a great report that I wrote because I really want you to understand how much you can influence your life. And the ratings and reviews on the podcast on iTunes are blowing me away. I am so grateful, y'all. Feel free, if any of these episodes impact you positively, please go ahead, hop over there too, and on iTunes, and rate and review my podcast. And I really just love y'all. And I hope that today's episode, speaking of Apollo, the card deck, really gives you another opportunity to explore who you are, because that's the best thing to do every day. And also to ask for assistance in being the best version of yourself that you can be. I hope you have a blessed day, a wonderful week, and always live intuitively.
Thanks for listening to The Intuitive Therapist with Janis R. Cohen. If you like what you heard, the best compliment you can give us is to share this podcast with a friend and subscribe, rate, and review at iTunes.